Hey, what is going on everyone? It's me, Mr. Mario, and in this video here, I'm going to be showing you all how you can do something pretty cool on your Xbox 360 if it has been modified with Bad Update. This video is exclusive for Bad Update users, and if you have a JTAG, RGH, or any type of hard modded system, I do have a video specifically covering this, which is UsbdSecPatch. For those who do not know, this has been developed by Invoxy Play Games here, and this is, as it states here, a quick and dirty Xbox 360 kernel patch to do two things that should make using a custom controller much easier. It does cover these specific patches here, but in short, this here allows you, once you have it installed, to be able to access many more controllers on your Xbox 360 as long as you have some kind of USB adapter which can take controllers and adapt them to X input. Now I'm happy to report that specifically for Bad Update users, and this is why I'm making this specific video here, this is probably going to be one of my shortest and easiest tutorials that you can cover, because for the prerequisites here, the first thing you're going to need is a Xbox 360 console up and running and working with Bad Update. And that's about it. You see, I've had a lot of people ask me this question here, and I've even covered it directly in my kind of all-encompassing videos that cover how to set up Bad Update. But when you set up Bad Update, you might be using something such as Free My Xenon, or you might be using Xenon Unshackle, since this is the newer and more up-to-date and complete one, I would say. However, the good news is, whichever one you've used, it actually has this functionality built in. Right here on the repository for Free My Xenon, it actually states patches USB controller authentication a la UsbdSecPatch to allow certain compatible controllers and adapters to work. And there's also a little shout out to me there. That was cool. And if you're using Xenon Unshackle, don't worry. In the features, the last one here states applies UsbdSec patches to allow non-360 X input controllers, thanks to Invoxy Play Games. So that's all to say, if you've been using Bad Update, you've had access to this the entire time. Now to actually make use of this, let's go ahead and cover that. Now thankfully here, there's not all too much to do. You are going to need to get a controller or an adapter that can run in X input mode. This is going to be required. I do have a couple of them here that I've used. I have the Magic NS2, which allows me to use wired and wireless controllers, and I also use the Magic NS Lite. The difference here being the NS Lite is only for wireless controllers. Now there's many other adapters out there. These are the ones that I'm at least going to be covering and using on here, but in order to get your adapter into X input mode, at least for the Magic ones I'm covering, you need to plug the adapter into a free USB port on your Xbox 360, and once it lights up, you need to hold down the only button on there and keep cycling until the color ends up changing on the LED to represent X input. On my adapters, it's represented as a green LED. Once you're in X input mode, you then need to sync up your controller. If you're using a wired controller, you just need to hook it up through USB to the adapter. And if you're using a wireless controller, you need to tap the button on your adapter and then get your controller into a syncing mode. I have a couple of wireless controllers I'm using here. For the Pro controller, you just need to hold down the sync button on your controller until it gets into sync mode and then let it synchronize with the adapter. I've also used the DualShock 4 and DualSense controllers, and if you want to synchronize those ones, you need to hold down the share button and then press the PlayStation button on the controller. And then once the controller starts lighting up like this, make sure it gets synchronized to the adapter and you should be good at that point. Aside from that, once you have your controller connected, congratulations, as long as you have Bad Update up and running, while it is running, you're able to use this throughout the system itself. So you can go ahead, play games as usual, and have some fun with that. I'll go ahead, fire up Army of Two here, for example. Now there's a couple things to keep in mind here. The first thing is going to be that you can only have one adapter plugged in at a time on your console. Additionally, you can only have one controller per adapter on your system at the same time. So if you're thinking about running like 4 DualSenses or like 4 different controllers of different variants on there, unfortunately you're not going to be able to do that. You're only going to be able to hook up one controller for one console for one adapter at a time. Secondly, do keep in mind, I've said this a few times here, but this is only going to be when you're running Bad Update. So that means once you turn off your system and turn it back on, if you're confused why your third-party controller like your DualSense or your Pro controller is not working, well, that's because you have to enable Bad Update. Just like Bad Update, this is temporary. So in order to make use of this, you have to run Bad Update. Once Bad Update is running, you can use your third-party controllers. But once it's not running, you have to rerun it in order to get it up and running. Either way, that is about it for this video here. Hopefully this might have been a little bit of a surprise to you all, and if it was, hopefully it helps out. Hopefully you all enjoyed it. If you did, a like would absolutely be appreciated, and if you didn't like it, a dislike is fine as well too. As I always say, this is Mr. Mario, signing off. Thank you all for watching, everyone.